There are not many keys on the market with symmetrical arrangements, and in addition to symmetry, there are also damping adjustment TMR joystick double-cut triggers with replaceable action keys. Cross key. 6. The axis gyroscope wakes up 4 plugged and unplugged back keys with 1 click outside. There are so many configurations of the magnetic patrol motor. That's even more unheard of. And his ancient art TT Max and younger brother TT Pro did it. The TTMAX packaging really does a little space. No waste of plastic, handle, rapeable handle. The body takes out the handle. You can also see a cross. Accessories. 1 with replacement ABX B piece. 8. The damping adjustment of the selected toolbox is also available at the bottom of the package. For rocker cap accessories of different heights, collect line description inputs and a separately wrapped flash link. 2 receivers. Look at the handle body because it is a symmetrical arrangement. Therefore, the overall width of the handle is much wider than that of the traditional asymmetrical handle. Different from the PS5 controller, which has a thinner and narrower grip. The overall grip of the TMAX is still more similar to the Xbox controller. The weight comes after adding 4 grams of back key, which is about 269 grams. At 284 grams, it weighs about the same as an Xbox Series controller. But because the grip plate is relatively thick, the grip is quite good. The action button is still the conductive glue scheme used. The arrow keys are replica SS handles. The double-layer solid structure is also a conductive glue. Feel. The shoulder and back buttons are light switch solutions. The light hand switch with a relatively low sound feels soft when pressed. The sound is not loud. Overall, the buttons on the handle are relatively silent. The handle shell has an internal coating that feels very good to the touch. Because there is a coating that is more resistant to dirt. Compared to vintage gray, it is easier to leave fingerprints. So if you are sweaty, it is safer to choose gray. Then in terms of appearance, put it on the current handle ring. I don't know how many points you can score. Next, contact its powerful customization features. Can be said that, in addition to the functional buttons on the front of the handle, all others support custom action keys. The layout can be changed by unplugging with the key puller. The interior still uses the feel shaft scheme that encourages self-development, and the conductive rubber feels. Unlike the original key switches, there is no risk of jamming. The action keys can be purchased by themselves for subsequent wear, broken touch, or stuck color. Disassemble the machine and replace the actual key. It is still a conductive glue solution, but instead of the conventional cross-shaped buttons, it uses a floating corner purchase. It is also equipped with 2 feel cross keys, which are effortless to replace. Press and hold the setting key on the handle, add the cross key. Right-clicking also allows you to switch between the 4 and 8 sticks. Support to change rocker caps of different heights. Pull out the rocker cap and adjust the damping along the way. Use this adjustment piece similar to a liquor corkscrew to adjust softly. If the adjustment pad is lost, don't be afraid. You can do it directly with a stone flower screwdriver. The official gave the space for 720-degree infinite adjustment. Wow, what the hell is going on? Why did you screw it out directly? Honestly, adding a thread on top is more secure. The risk of losing this little thing is still encouraged. This hidden damping adjustment scheme is compared to, in terms of the scheme of damping the female ring at the bottom, is still a bit cumbersome to use. There is also no clear indication in terms of strength. In the process of adjustment, you need to keep dialing down and pressing the stick cap to feel the force of the joystick. The benefit is this hidden way of regulation. It can prevent accidental touches in the middle of the game, affect the feel. As for the trigger, this time it was finally upgraded to Hall micro movement. Compared with the light tactile switch of King Kong 3 Max, the double cut feels better. It's not a 1.5-star short key travel. The micro movement feel is very well tuned. The pressure is not top, the hand is very sensitive. Press the Briscoe expansion button. Which installation do you want to use? Which one does not have to worry about the problem of accidental touch at all? In addition to the regular mapping buttons, the spare parts also have a new learning function. You can also understand it as 30 seconds of red. Press and hold the learning key on the front and the B key that needs to be mapped. 30 seconds of operation can be recorded. If you don't need such a complex learning function, you can take a look at the little brother. In addition to the lack of customization artistry at the software level TTPRO, other configurations are exactly the same as TT Max. Damping adjustment waist bar. There are many types of key action keys of the double spot cutting machine. If it weren't for the addition of a little green to the APXI and joystick and TMAX together, I can't see it at all. Who put it on whom? Except for some hardware upgrades. Before, the user experience was also optimized. The indicator light on the top pair is often mistaken for a battery level by the player. Should I say it or not? The encouragement official is also listening to persuasion, and it is really changed to a battery indicator. The battery level is clear at a glance. No more battery anxiety. In addition to displaying the battery level, scrolling is also supported. For pairing, double-click the mode button next to it to switch platforms, and press and hold for 3 seconds to turn off. If you are plugged in or in wireless mode to turn on bursts, then the handle will not automatically shut down at all. One shot to the end. But unfortunately, at present, the self-developed participation adjustment app has not yet been launched. Third parties are also not supported. Therefore, all parameter adjustments still need to be adjusted through shortcut keys. To realize the opening of the dead zone of the key rod to adjust the intensity vibration, change the vibration mode setting backup key. Calibration sticks, sword swaps, turning on kicking assist, etc. all need to be completed by turning on the manual. The good thing is the shortcuts. From the King Kong series to the current TT series, it is the same. So if you are a loyal old user of encouragement, these key combinations do not need to be flipped. The manual should also be able to give a rough idea. But the official said that the app is working overtime. It will support the web, Android, iOS platform. In the future, you can go directly to the official website of encouragement and choose meals directly. Said that it will be launched later, etc. I think I've heard this somewhere. In terms of parameters, the joystick appears. There is no dead center point, very silky. There is no real terrain to die. In the process of joystick movement, after the coordinate number, there is a slight beating in several digits. In shooting games, the test crosshair is very stable. There is no jitter. You can use the shortcut key to set and add the screenshot key. Change to have dead mode test, dead range. At about 10%, the outer ring error force. It is around 9%. The return rate test can be stable above 900 Hz in wired mode. Contactor mode and tension mode tests stabilized above 650 Hz. The average resolution is stable above 500 G. There is no case of string key connection in the physical key test. The motor uses magnetic suspension incubation that encourages self-development. The motor vibration test feels very delicate. It's much better. Traditional rotor motors feel much better. Disassemble the machine and look at the internal workmanship. PCB clean the whole machine. The motor uses a magnetic weight that encourages self-development. The motor and the motherboard are connected to the socket of the self-developed damping adjustment TMR joystick. The built-in rocker lubrication bracket wire position is the cover of the rocker. The inside and the bracket are independent of the outer foam ring. So during use, the rocker ring and foam ring contact moving machine are Hulga's micro motion scheme. The micro button adds silicone electricity to increase the length of the feel. The gradient is done by dragging with a trigger lock on the back. The battery capacity is 950 mAh when the light is on. The official battery life given is 14 hours. If the vibration frequency is high, it can be about 10 hours. The main board and subboard use cable connections and even cable switches. It also uses insulating tape wrapping details. Pull up the action buttons, the D-pad button, and the functional buttons on the front. All are conductive adhesive solutions. The sharp keys and the 4 back keys behind are this kind of relatively small tactile switches. The connection between the back key and the motherboard is also very meaningful, using contact connections. This is why the handle snaps a lot of screws. The reason why a lot of overall cards are very tight. Finally, a brief summary of the feeling of encouragement for me. It has always been a particularly bold company. The Hall joystick was first introduced. Engage in magnetic ex-husband motor feel shaft action buttons. Self-developed chip double cut trigger. Many technologies are at the forefront of the industry. The newly launched TT Max is the most stackable in the symmetrical handle. If you are a lover of symmetrical handles, there is also a rich narcissistic need. The 368 yuan TT Max can meet all your needs. Budget is limited, see also. The TT Pro cost performance of 298 yuan. This piece really has nothing to say.